Resting. It has been a difficult thing even for myself. So I feel like this video is more for myself than also for others, but just blurring out my thoughts about like this whole idea of taking a rest, having a break, giving yourself the time to properly have a sabbatical moment for yourself to rejuvenate your energy. And yeah, because for me, I have been working since graduating, right? Like I haven't really had a proper rest. By the way, don't mind my messy hair because it's just I just took just clean my hair, like shampoo it and everything. But anyway, yeah. So I haven't really taken a proper break for a long while. So that's like almost since July or June 2023, right? And of course, like I've been in school for a couple of years, but I haven't like actually take a proper sabbatical to let the mind, just tune down, right? So what do I mean about resting, right? Like what is this thing? I think resting comes in many shape and forms, right? Like maybe for one person is just like to take a full week off of like this purely off of Instagram, purely off of social media in general, on Instagram only, or taking a full break of just, like doing the work they do on a daily basis. Like, let's say if you're an artist or an illustrator, designer, you do that every single day. Like, your mind needs some form of stepping back from this daily, creation that you do. Now, granted, not everyone is able to do it, especially like if you have like responsibilities, if you have to take care of your family. However, I think there is a room for allowing yourself to really be in the moment of presentness, in which you are not constantly creating. Like maybe that's like an hour or two. That's what I try to do at least, which is why I do a lot of walking nowadays, right? But that's another form of resting for me, and it's a habit I began since November last year, which is in 2023, and it has been really fun. I mean, I don't do it every single day, but I try to maintain at least 50,000 steps a week, which is more or less some days 5,000 steps minimum, other days 10,000 steps. Some days I even go for 15,000 steps, right? So that allows to reach the 50,000 steps quite easily on a weekly basis. Ideally, I would want to reach like 15,000 steps a day, in which it just means I walk either 2 or 3 times a day, so 5,000 steps minimum per walk. But anyway, that's one form of resting. The other form of resting, I think, is kind of, like it can be addicting, which is gaming, but that's, at least for me, what allowed me to just rest properly, to just allow the mind to go into this form of like tuning off, right? And but the much better approach for gaming will be, I think, actually going outside in nature, like it goes back to walking, but in this sense, camping, right? If you have the possibility to camp, that will be amazing, because you're just getting a lot of these energy from nature itself, in which you can really calm your senses, rather than always being in this big city kind of environment where you have to always work, depending where or which country you're from. And the third form, I think, would be to just journal and reflect, like reflect upon your life, reflect upon how's the week going, right? And if things are going in the direction you wish it for it to be, right? And what do I mean by that? Let's say you had a really tough week, right? At least for me, how it works is then to just write down why was the week so tough, And during these little writing moments, it gives your brain the space to breathe and ability to put what's in your brain onto paper, so that you can able, that's not a proper English there, so that you can just go back to it and, like try to remedy that thought to a better system or a better conclusion. Not even sure if that makes sense, but yeah. And I think lastly would be to have some time off with friends. Yeah, I think whenever I spend time with people, I kind of go like into this really present momentness. Like, I'm not an extroverted person, but if it is like with creative people, I feel like this connection allows me to just be in the moment and just experience it for what it is, and allowing it to happen naturally. That's what I've felt throughout the conversations I've been having with multiple people, and it gives me the opportunity to think about something else rather than always drawing, always designing, always creating. And especially for my side where I'm always actively making something, like I can't really sit still. For example, like for me, it's hard to not create or draw something on a given day. I'm doing it much better this year. I try to give myself the space to really, step back and have a moment for a walk, have a moment for a talk with someone, rather than always just being, like tunnel vision on my screen, on my computer, on my laptop or tablet, whatever you name it. Maybe you have the same problem, and perhaps then incorporating what I talk about could be, like something for you to try out, and something for me to also continue doing to properly have a break for my mental sanity and for my physique sanity. So to wrap it up, resting, why is it important? It's important because it allows us to come up with better ideas. It allows us to properly take care of ourselves, to properly allow, the possibility for something new to happen, right? And the possibility for your mind to connect the dots, because it is during, like, if you ever notice, it is during the moments where we are not doing anything, especially when you're showering or when you're walking, that ideas starts to come. At least that's what has been my experience. That's why we call it the shower thoughts, like the aha moments. The second one is to go for walks. Walking is important for allowing yourself to not only move your body, especially like if you sit every day, like myself, on your desk, at least ideally on a seat, like on a chair, not on your desk itself, and walking allows you to just reflect in general and really just be in the moment for a brief period of time. And number 3 is just to have fun with friends, really, and to communicate with them, like it gives you the opportunity to reflect, and gives you the opportunity to just let your thoughts out, let your brain out for a second, and tune off from your everyday work. It doesn't have to be drinking, like this can be even hiking, for example, camping. Like if you tell me let's go do that, I love those kind of activities. If you tell me let's go to a drink festival, I'm like, especially the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't really like those kind of activities. But I always have been that kind of person where I will dance, sure, if I hear music going on, like, but when it comes to drinking, I'm trying to do it less and less. And lastly, journaling allows you to just put your thoughts down, give yourself the mental space possible to open up the bandwidth for something new to happen. If everything is kept up here, like we are losing our sanity, or at some point we will lose our sanity, because you are not allowing yourself to really reflect on the things that's happening within your brain or within your subconscious, and you need an outlet to write or capture, edit, review, to sort of understand what you are going through. And yeah, this to me is the forms of resting. I'm sure there's got to be more. If you have others that that makes you really in tune in the moment, like I'm pretty sure there's like things like traveling, for example, as I mentioned earlier, as well, gaming. Maybe that's an outlet for you. There's also just going on holidays, as I said, traveling. It's the same thing, but yeah, camping, and yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.